What's up, everybody? This is Peter Schrager with the Week 18 Fox NFL cheat sheet. Here are three things to look for this weekend. Number one, Patrick Mahomes is chasing history. You might not have noticed because Mahomes hasn't been on primetime the last few weeks, and for whatever reason, we just take it for granted. Patrick Mahomes is in the midst of one of the greatest quarterback seasons we've ever seen in the NFL. In fact, he is a 430 passing yard day away on Saturday versus the Raiders from breaking the all-time single season record that was set by Peyton Manning in 2013. It's kind of wild. I know it's one extra game, but I feel like Mahomes' season is being completely overlooked. Consider this. Mahomes, even in just 16 games, has already accomplished the feat of being the second quarterback in NFL history to have multiple 5,000-yard, 40 touchdown seasons from the quarterback position. The other guy to do it was Drew Brees. Mahomes is on fire right now, and he's doing it all without Tyreek Hill. Saturday afternoon, the Chiefs need to win to maintain that one seed, and I know things got a little interesting this week with what we're dealing with the Bengals-Bills game for Monday night. But if the Chiefs win, they're the ones. And I'll tell you what, I think they will win, and I think Mahomes, he has a night. Number two, kind of ironic, but Jared Goff desperately needs a favor from the Rams, and I think the Rams should deliver that favor to Jared Goff. What do I mean? Well, let's think about this. 2 years ago, Jared Goff was the quarterback of the Rams, finishes the season, took them to the playoffs, everything was all right. And then he gets the news in March that the team just traded him to the Detroit Lions, a team that had not been to the playoffs many times in their history and has not won a playoff game since the 90s. And Goff was not only going there, but he was going there with a bunch of draft picks, and the Rams were saying, all right, we'll pick up the tab too. We'll pay for most of that contract. Felt like it was an insulting trade, and yet the Rams, they proved that that was a trade they needed to make because the very next year, they won the Super Bowl, and Jared Goff's Lions were the second worst team in football. Fast forward 12 months, and here we are. Jared Goff is a win away from the playoffs with the Lions if the Rams can beat the Seahawks. Goff's got to call up his old boys. He's got to call up his old head coach, McVay, and say, hey, look, I had to miss out on that ride last year. Do me a solid. Get the guys going. Get Bobby Wagner furious to play his old team and get us that win so that our game Sunday night matters. It's an amazing thing, the NFL, how it works. But in the irony of all ironies, Jared Goff needs the LA Rams to do him a solid. After last year, they traded him away to Detroit. And that didn't feel like such a solid at the time. If the Rams can upset the Seahawks, Jared Goff is a win in Lambeau away from one of the most improbable playoff berths we've ever seen in NFL history. Number three, Monday's going to come around and suddenly coaching stuff is going to come up faster than you even imagined. Here are some names that I would keep an eye on. Number one, Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator, Detroit Lions, 36 years old, brilliant guy, was a math major in college, has been a real stud in Detroit, and a lot of people are buzzing about him. Number two, another Johnson, Brian Johnson. He's the quarterback's coach in Philly, and one of the guys that people say is most responsible for Jalen Hurts' maturation. He's also very young, former quarterback at the University of Utah. He might interview for head coaching jobs. If it's not that, he's certainly going to be looked at to be poached as an offensive coordinator. Brian Johnson, quarterback's coach, young, brilliant, smart, ex-player, motivated. Look for him to get some looks. Number three, D'Amico Ryan, San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator. Need I say more? Former Pro Bowl linebacker for the Texans and the Eagles, and has just risen right through the ranks in San Francisco. Defensive coordinator of one of the number one defenses in the league. Number four, Lou Anarumo. Lou Anarumo is not one of these young offensive minds. He's an older defensive coach, and yet this guy for the Bengals makes better halftime adjustments than anybody in the league, and his players swear by him. Lou Anarumo, a guy who was a Staten Island high school coach, and then a Staten Island coach at Wagner less than 30 years ago, is now being talked about as a head coaching candidate, and I wouldn't be shocked if he got one of those gigs. And the last one, my colleague at Fox, Sean Payton. Let's see what happens. But Sean Payton is going to be the belle of the ball in this entire thing, and I think he'll have some choices. The question is, does he want to leave us at Fox to go pursue something else, or does he wait a year, maybe give us one more role in the studio at Fox Sports? Either way, we know Sean Payton will be there on Sunday. So will I. Everybody, if you're looking for any of my stuff on Fox Sports, it is at the Fox Sports app. You can download it, or you can follow me at P Schrags, P-S-C-H-R-A-G-S on Twitter. We do a column every week called The Cheat Sheet, and we do these videos. Guys, week 18, we got some good news on Damar Hamlin today. Everybody, let's enjoy the football, and I'll see you next week.